Welcome to episode 31 of Pera's Playbook. Today I'm joined by McKenzie Rich of the Franklin Pierce women's hockey team. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to start off with a random question just because we were talking about it today at work, and maybe it'll set the tone for how this interview will go, and if I like you or not. Because it's a big question. What is your opinion on candy corn?
Candy corn.
Yes.
I really like candy corn.
Good. Because at work, I was talking about it with my coworker, and she just said she can't stand it. It's
There's,
horrible.
yeah, a lot of my friends hate it, and I actually just got it the other day at the store. I saw it, and I was like, I
Yeah,
need it.
so did I.
Yeah.
I couldn't resist. I felt like I had to get it. Well, I'm glad that I think that's going to set a good tone for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah.
So before we get into your time at Franklin Pierce so far, I was reading in your bio, and it had a few things about being with the USA National Development Program. So maybe you could start by kind of going into that for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I was in the HP was a big thing growing up. I don't know. I started at probably age 14 to around 17. And then my last 2 years, actually all my years, I made it to national camp, but there was a certain age you couldn't make it to, like, obviously the U18 stuff. Um, but I was lucky enough to make it to the last round before, like, making the USA team. Unfortunately, I didn't make it, but I mean, playing with all those girls and at that high level and even wearing some of the USA stuff was awesome. Obviously it's still a goal of mine. But yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I also went to Shattuck, St. Mary's, so I skated with a lot of those girls, and I was fortunate to, like, a lot of them are on the USA team right now, including Lacey Eden and Casey O'Brien, McKenna Webster, and skating with them my sophomore year at Shattuck when they were seniors was awesome. They're unbelievable players, and just learning from them and just how they see hockey. Like, we all love hockey and we all dedicate our lives to it, but even seeing those girls go even beyond is awesome, and I learned a lot from them. But yeah, that's pretty much my experience with it. And yeah.
So you mentioned the Shaddocks. I mean, that had to have
Mhm.
helped just kind of prepare you for college hockey because that's a pretty high level to
Yes.
play at that age.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Shattuck is almost as close as like a college to me. Like, I mean, same structure. You wake up, go to skate at 6 a.m., go to all your classes, work out, and then it's just like a whole cycle, and even skate that night if you want to, and you stay in dorms. So it's a lot like college. So yes, it did kind of help me with college and with homesick and whatnot.
So with your recruitment, did you have any idea, when you kind of started where you wanted to go? Did you have schools in mind, that you wanted to visit, or were you kind of wide open, really no idea?
Yeah, so actually, I was committed to UMD super young. I committed there my 8th grade year, all the way up to junior year.
Wow.
And with COVID and stuff happening, it didn't work out, and I ended up wanting to go out east to, like, a smaller school. And so I had some friends that came out here. Suzette, she actually just transferred to Mankato, but she went to Shattuck with me, and she said she really liked it. And I kind of just wanted a smaller school to start off my freshman year and play a lot. And so, yeah, I chose Franklin Pierce, and this is my second year, and I really like it. So,
Well, I mean, you got your wish with playing
mhm.
a lot. You ended up playing in 34 games. You had a goal and 7 assists. That's a great start. I mean, for first year, you can't ask for much better than that. What do you think the hardest adjustment was? I mean, you mentioned how, Shattuck is very similar, but obviously the speed of the game is different. The hockey IQ girls have, and right now with the way things are, I mean, there was a lot of people using that fifth year, that extra COVID year. So they'd been around programs for so long. I mean, it's just kind of hard to come in and compete against that. So what do you think for you was the hardest adjustment?
I say for me was so I'm originally a forward, but last year I played D. So a few things happened like later in the summer where there are a couple girls, one girl was hurt and a couple girls didn't come in, whatever, and I got asked to play D because I played a little bit of D, but normally forward. So I would say for me was playing D and adjusting to that, especially at a Division I level. With playing, I don't know, we played Penn State, Boston College, St. Thomas, and yeah, I would say that for me, because I haven't played a lot of D in my life. I mean, I know a bit, but not too much. Yeah, and then the speed, and then even like off of hockey, but like it all goes together. It's just obviously school too, and with my major, I changed my major halfway through the year and kind of just like really focusing on school and hockey because I don't know, growing up, I took school serious, but obviously not. I was always hockey. But here it's like you gotta put your mind to both things and just everything. I don't know. I would just say school, hockey, and atmosphere. It was all a change for me. So
Yeah, it's funny that you said that you switched from forward to D. My last women's hockey player, Kaylee Smith, who plays at Sacred Heart, she switched from D to forward. So
oh,
just
really
the opposite.
funny.
So it must happen quite often. I didn't really realize that people switch that much, but through doing these podcasts, there's a lot of people who once they get to college, something happens, like you said, injuries, different things, and you need to make the switch.
And then this year I'm forward again. So
Like a yo-yo, back and forth,
yeah.
back and forth. So you had your first goal versus Holy Cross. Take us through that moment. Obviously, it's what everyone wants to score goals
Yeah.
and exciting stuff.
Yeah, so that game, it was kind of confusing last year because I did play a couple games at forward when I got asked to. So that game, I got asked to play forward, and I was like, sure, yeah. And that was the game I ended up scoring. And if I remember it correctly, yeah, I think I just got a pass from Julia at the point, down low, and it banked off the boards, and then it came back, and I flicked it top shelf, and it was awesome. I mean, it's obviously a goal I always remember, my first college goal, and yeah.
Yeah, and then your first assist was at Penn State, and you mentioned talking about playing those types of teams. Obviously, that's
Yeah.
going to be kind of memorable because they were so good last year, and to get an assist and contribute to that, in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome too. Penn State is a very good team. I knew a few of the girls on that team too. I mean, they were better than us last year, but we worked our hardest. And yeah, I just remember skating the puck up, and Avery Farrell, she's on the team last year. She's up now at St. Cloud. But we were like, it was like a 2-on-1 kind of. And then I passed it over to her and she buried it, which was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I interviewed Avery when I was doing the
Yeah.
twig snapper on the other podcast. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. She had a good year. So
Yeah, she did, definitely.
yeah.
So what do you think was the toughest road barn to play in, fan wise or just kind of the atmosphere?
I mean, last year I would say St. Thomas was, but as like in our league, I would say LIU.
Okay.
LIU been like, even before I came here, they're always like rivals. So I would say them. But last year, Minnesota, a lot of us are from Minnesota. And so a lot of our families were there. And then St. Thomas, I know like the whole team pretty much because we all played together. And so all their families are on that side and our families are on this side. And so I would say last year, probably St. Thomas, though.
Well, that kind of makes it a little more fun to play. I mean, if you
Yeah.
know all the people, kind of fun to play against your friends sometimes. And then if you beat them, you can have that.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the tournament. You guys beat Sacred Heart in 3 games, and then you ended up losing to LIU in overtime. So first we'll start with the Sacred Heart. Those were all pretty tight games, just kind of battles, and I mean that's what everyone wants, especially fans. You want good, fun hockey, tight hockey, in tournament time.
Yeah, that was crazy last year. I mean, I never want to think we're going to lose, but there was a few times, I mean, what we had point something seconds, and I was like, we were all like starting to cry, and my defensive partner was a senior, and I was like about to give her a hug, and then yeah, I think who was it, Michaela Kelly, that scored. But no, those were 3 awesome games, and I mean, somehow we were struggling a lot, like the first half of the year with scoring, and we could just, I don't know, we could not score and never got our way with penalties and whatnot. And but we had a lot of luck the last 3 games and worked hard, and got what we received, or like we deserved. And then LIU was a tough loss, and I don't know, it sucked, but it was what it was, I guess. But we're
Gives
coming back
you
this year and winning, so
Yeah, well, that's what I was just gonna say. It gives you a kick in the pants
it does.
to, you want it more now. You were close, an overtime loss. I mean, especially in tournaments, those are the worst because you were right there. But it gives
Yep.
you that fire to come back.
Yes.
So that's all you. I mean, and now you know your mistakes too. You can look back, you watch the film, like, okay, we made a stupid mistake here. Let's not do that, and you won't. Usually, you don't make the same mistakes 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So, kind of in a year two preview, looking at it, you mentioned knowing a lot of people at St. Thomas, and that's you guys open up at St. Thomas. So, I mean, that should be a fun start to the season. You got to be looking forward to that weekend.
Mm-hmm. I'm super excited. Yeah, I think we leave next Thursday to go down there. I mean, it's just a good trip. A lot, like I said, probably 80% of our team is from Minnesota. So it gives our families the opportunity to come watch us. And a lot of us know a lot of those girls, and just playing in Minnesota is just awesome because that's where we've always played. And St. Thomas is a really good team this year too. I mean, we went 1-1 in our series last year, but we're going to have to really dig down deep this year to win a game, but it'll be fun. I'd rather play teams to have, like, I don't know, that we're kind of lower than them and we have to fight than beat a team 5-0. So it'll be fun this year. And we started practice last week, and we have this week and next week to go, and yeah, should be fun.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about the fact that hockey is almost here. I mean, I can't, it's hard to believe. I mean, it was just summer, and all of a sudden we're at the end of September already. It's wild. There's going to be snow on the ground all over the place.
I know it's starting cold now again. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know here in Michigan we're getting like our last little heat wave, but it's probably going to be the last one. I feel like October is always frigid. It's
I know, even in Minnesota, I remember like when I was younger too, like growing up, it always snowed like even October-ish, like when we were
yeah.
trick or treating. It was
Oh,
always like,
yeah.
yeah. So who knows? But yeah.
So how do you guys get to Minnesota? Do you fly or do you take a bus?
Yes, we're gonna fly.
Okay, that'd be a really long bus
I
ride.
I I actually drove up here this year to have my car here. So it
Yeah.
was like 20,
Oh
22 hours.
my gosh.
And
That's
like
horrible.
riding up with someone. So I was like, oh, it'll be a fun little trip, like you always think of road trips. But it was, oh my God, the first 10 hours kind of went by like it was fine. And the last 10 hours, I was like, get me out of this car.
That's
But
funny.
yeah.
So now you've got a full season under your belt. You've got everything under, college hockey. You've got to figure it out. You know what to expect. With that being said, do you have any personal goals that you kind of want to achieve this year? And then the same thing for like team goals. Anything you guys are really talking about as a team. I'm assuming, that conference tournament, like we talked about, it is a big goal for you guys. But
Yeah. Yeah, I would say just a team goal is to win the new Ha, and just, I mean, we have a lot of new girls this year too. So just kind of bringing everyone together, and I don't know, just I don't really know how to explain it, but just work together, have fun. I mean, win a lot of our games. We had like personal goals we wrote down, but I don't know, it's just little things, but mostly win the new Ha.
yeah,
Personal goals, I mean, I would say obviously now that I'm moving to forward, it's different. So kind of getting set with that, and just I don't know. I wanna make a lot of plays this year, be a very like high scoring forward, make a lot of plays, score goals, assist. I want to be on the power play more like I was a little bit last year, but then I had a good start of the season, first half, second half, I kind of fell down, so I got taken off. But I just want to have a really consistent year, make good plays, good things happen, and just make everyone around me better and have fun.
Did you get really used to playing D? Is it weird to be playing forward again, or does it
It
feel
is a little bit,
better?
yeah. I mean, I don't know, this summer I did a lot of forward, like when we did drills and stuff like that. But it is weird. Like even our warm up, I'm always used to doing like what the defense do, and then I'm like, oh God, wait, what do I do on the forward side? Like little that. But no, it is my number one position, so it should come right, like easy to me. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just funny
Like
though. So,
like riding a bike, you just got to get back on and start pedaling and you'll be okay.
yes.
So you just kind of overall, maybe it doesn't have to be a hockey sense, but so far, what's been your favorite part of being at Franklin Pierce?
Um, I mean, we talked a lot about hockey, so I'll say more about the school and like atmosphere. I would say friends for sure. It's a small school, so you get to know a lot of people. And so it is fun though. Like, obviously, I'm here for hockey, but I'm also here for like, I don't know, to make long lasting friends and get an academic career. So the classes are really fun. You get super close with like your professors, and which is like awesome. Um, it's we were so Franklin Pierce is like right on a lake. So like this time of the year and then at the end of the year, it's like awesome because we get to like go kayaking, paddle boarding, jump in the lake. We had the 2 mile run the other weekend, and then we all just ran down and jumped in the lake. And it's just actually a very pretty small campus, and you know everyone and you get super close. Um, and I'm also friends with a lot of like other sports too, which like you don't see that a lot. You're mostly just hanging out with like your hockey team, but my roommate's a golf player, and I don't know, it's a nice school and everyone's super close, which I really love. So
It's kind of interesting to think about. You're talking about a small school, but then you look at your schedule, and like when you played Penn State, like you're playing this team, and those people have a way different experience because they're in a
okay.
much bigger school. And it's kind of interesting when you think about it. Like school size really doesn't matter when it plays into schedules and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's just
Yeah.
so in a non-hockey sense, just a couple random questions like what's your favorite food?
Um Steak.
Okay. Do you eat a lot of steak? Do you guys have steak ever as a team?
Uh Maybe like a few times, maybe like when we go to St. Thomas, we'll go to a nicer restaurant
Yeah.
and we'll have something like that, but mostly no.
Yeah, and I'm sure. I mean, I know what it's like to be a college student. Obviously, none of
Yeah.
us are making steak dinners all the time.
I know. Yeah, I've had it like maybe once or twice since I've been here, but yeah, I don't have that much money. So
Yeah.
yeah, can't be throwing out
What?
money to have steak, right? But
Well, right, yeah. And if you go out to eat, you're surely not picking the steak off the menu. Like,
no, it's mostly when I'm home, my dad's making it, but
yeah.
yeah,
What's your favorite animal?
dog.
Oh, ooh, dogs. Cats are
Really?
better. Cats are better.
I do have a cat though, I will say.
Okay. Does your cat? Do you have a dog too?
Yes, I have a
Do
dog
they
and
get
a cat.
along?
They do. They like cuddle with each other. It's this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, that's a stereotype that's really not often true about cats hitting dogs. I know a lot of people who have cats and
Yeah.
dogs that get along just fine.
At
So,
first she did not like him, but then they both are, so
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So what's your dream travel destination? You go anywhere in the world.
Mm, I would say Cuba or Paris.
Okay. So either tropical, nice weather, or Paris, obviously a lot of good stuff there too, but kind of different vibes.
Yeah, I was in Switzerland this summer.
Oh wow.
Super pretty, and I wanted to go to Paris, but I don't know, didn't have enough time, but I really want to go.
Yeah, yeah, I'd love to go to Switzerland. I mean, obviously, I got like a long bucket list of European countries I want to go to.
Yeah,
It's like feels like there'll never be enough time to get to all of them. I don't
yeah.
know.
I will say
I've
go to. It's super pretty there.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah,
Switzerland, like Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland. That kind of like I feel like you could loop that into one trip,
yeah.
and
I went
then
in Finland a few years ago for hockey, and that was awesome too.
yeah, yeah, I'd love to. And then I was actually thinking like Italy and Switzerland, real
Mhm.
close. Like loop
Yeah.
that into a trip, do
Yep.
that. But I when I was in high school, I went to England, Ireland, and Wales, and that was awesome. Just like
Totally.
it's beautiful. Like people don't think about like I don't know. I feel like they think of like rainy up there and maybe not, but it's gorgeous. The countryside, the cities, the culture, like the food, everything. I'd love to go back to Ireland if I could, but it's like we
Awesome
were
trip.
saying, there's not enough money or not enough money or time to go on all these trips.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So what kind of music do you like?
I'm not very picky, to be honest. I like country, rap, pop, um, 80s, you
Yeah.
name it. I don't say anything. I
Yeah.
mostly listen to country and
Okay.
rap.
Who's your favorite artist?
Luke Bryan.
Okay. Yeah.
And
You like the Lukes.
mhm, yes.
Yeah. I like Luke Bryan a lot. He's got,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to go wrong if you
Yeah.
like country. Um,
Uh-huh.
Luke Combs all right. He's got a few songs I enjoy, but I don't love him like some people are just all in. They love Luke Combs, but
Yeah.
he's got a few songs that I like.
Yeah.
What's the vibe on the team for music? Do you guys have a set like pregame playlist, or do you pass
Yeah.
the aux cord around?
No, so this year I'm not sure yet. I mean, because I don't know, we had like for workouts, just whoever wants to play music plays. But last year, um, we had her name was Reese. She was on our team, a senior, and she had the aux cord every game, and it was like just straight EDM. But a lot of us put our own headphones in at that moment. But I don't know about how this year is gonna go. I think it's more of like I don't know, if you like look up a playlist where it's like before game hype music or like those kind of, I don't know. But it's mostly like a senior who does it, and I don't know, but yeah.
Straight EDM.
Yeah,
She
that's what it
didn't.
was.
Did anyone else really like it, or was it just?
I mean, the first couple songs were good, but then after like that, it was like, okay, it's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, eventually you kind of want a different vibe. And
yeah.
all right. Well, I think that's a good place to end the episode. So thanks for coming on the podcast. Good luck with this season. Again, crazy to think that hockey's already here,
Right.
but like you said, I mean, that's next weekend. So you got like a week and a half. Well,
Yep.
almost 2 weeks, but yeah, crazy. Good luck with it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.